Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here, and yes, I definitely am hooked on a feeling. Play it, boys.
Hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Lips as sweet as candy, its taste is on.
So today we're going to talk about the newest chapter in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A movie that was really a riddle wrapped in a mystery due to what was seen in the trailers, and that of course is Guardians of the Galaxy. If you have never been a fan of Marvel Comics or have read a comic in your lifetime, the Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely an interesting franchise that Marvel chose, because of the fact that this was an original team that was created in the late 1960s, early 1970s. It has gone through many lineup changes, and today we see the film, which is based around the lineup that was put together in 2008, to some degree. There's also been some mixing and matching there too. But this movie stars a gigantic cast of very famous faces, some that I probably wouldn't have anticipated to even see in a Marvel movie before, so let's just put it this way, they are either smiling or laughing all their way to the bank. And this includes Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, Zoe Saldana, the voices of Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper, John C. Reilly, Lee Pace, Glenn Close, Jimon Hansu, Karen Gillan, Benicio del Toro, and an uncredited voicing of Josh Brolin. This is a story that takes place on the other side of the universe in the world of Marvel, where a Earthling is abducted when he is a boy by a group of alien renegades, and he's basically been living his life as a junk trader, and one day he discovers something that apparently seems to be very important to a lot of very dangerous aliens, and it's up to him to get out of this mess and try to put everything right. And he manages to find a ragtag team of assassins, hitmen, creatures seeking revenge, all for the purpose of putting together a team that is now sort of like a Avengers from space, and that is the Guardians of the Galaxy in a nutshell. This movie was definitely something I was curious to see because of the fact that this franchise is not as popular as heroes like Captain America or Hulk or Iron Man, so basically the director James Gunn had a lot to play with and a lot of liberty to really turn this into a good, entertaining film. And it was. It was filled with action, great special effects, amazing digital characters, and a lot of great comedy. I will definitely say from an acting standpoint, everybody played their part as they should, but it was really the voice of Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon that really stole the show. He really seemed to be the loudmouth, the wisecracker, and he had some of the best lines in the whole movie. He was definitely the most entertaining to see. The one thing that I didn't like about this movie was the fact that it was a movie that introduced way too many characters way too fast. It just had so many weird creatures with names that you couldn't even think how to pronounce while you were watching that movie because everything was really happening at a very fast pace. So there's definitely a lot of questions that are left unanswered, and I'm really curious to see how they are going to answer these with apparently a second Guardians of the Galaxy coming down the line somewhere in the coming years. I also really didn't like the fact that Benicio del Toro's character, which was the Collector, and you saw him at the end of the credits in Thor: The Dark World, I really was expecting him to have a bigger role in this movie, and he really didn't. I didn't know if the Collector was really going to be a good guy or a bad guy. Was he working for the major alien races of power that be, or was he really working for himself? We still are left with another major unanswered question about him. So I'm really curious where this character's role is in this entire story so far. We just didn't get the answer. And I don't want to even get started on what happens at the end credits scene. That's something that's really going to blow your mind, or it may just make you throw up in your mouth a little bit, but I will say that that was definitely one of the biggest surprises that I've ever seen in these Marvel films so far. What I loved about this movie was the fact that it does loosely connect to what's been going on Earth with the Avengers, but what it also does is it really expands the Marvel Universe. What happened in the Avengers with the Battle of New York with the Chitauri was just a very small taste of what is really out there in the Marvel Universe. The Avengers don't know just how big of a universe they are part of. There's a lot of great references to cosmic beings as well as races of aliens that really have a major staple in the world of Marvel that have given us some of the best comic book stories of all time. And this is also where I'm hoping that franchises like the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and X-Men will come back to the Marvel Studios so they can really incorporate these characters with all of these amazing stories that could possibly unfold. And I don't want to go too deep into them, but there are really some amazing stories that can make excellent movies and keep this Marvel Universe saga continuing. I am just eager to see what's going to happen in the next couple of Marvel films. I'm very curious to see how this end of the Marvel Universe and that end of the Marvel Universe are going to connect and intertwine, and hopefully that will be an exciting thing to see. I think it will be. I definitely enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy. It's definitely fun and entertaining, and that's all that I really have to say about this movie. I highly suggest you see it, especially if you've liked all the Marvel movies so far. It's still not as good as some of the other ones. I am going to give Guardians of the Galaxy 3 out of 4. So let me know what your thoughts were on Guardians of the Galaxy. It's been making a ton of money. Critics seem to really enjoy it. The fans are loving it. And it just makes me more excited for the next chapter in the cinematic universe for Marvel. Thanks for watching, guys. And remember that actions speak louder than words.